To the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the honest to the elders and apostles of James, who well, shalom to the hopeful elect. Now, I'm not really gonna make a lesson on this, but it's led me to thinking about something else, and I don't really want to show it, but at the same
That's how you feel. 2022. I feel it. That's how you feel. Hey, do your shit, bro.
no, that's enough of that. It talks about. I'm sorry for putting you through that. You know what I mean? But you see Babylon like this, kind of it drives you to drink, man. And the scriptures. I really wanted to talk about contradictions as well in the Bible because I was listening. I heard a rap by Jadakiss the other day, and he was talking about how the Bible was full of contradictions. You know, and yeah, to the unlearned, it seems like it's contradictions, but it's not. The elders have the spirit on them, so that they know how to discern parables. These parables seem like they're contradictions to people because these people don't understand the scriptures. For example, the people will say it's a contradiction that the Bible says you're not supposed to eat pork, and then it says all things are good to eat, and they don't have the discernment to understand when the Lord came, he didn't come to do away with the law, because people will say he came to do away with the law. So they'll say that's another contradiction there. But these people aren't learned, and they don't have the discernment to be able to see that it's not a contradiction. It's just is a stumbling block onto a lot of people. The Lord is a stumbling block onto a lot of people, and these scriptures make full sense because in some aspects of the Bible it tells you that you really shouldn't drink. Does that mean that you're not supposed to drink wine? No, it doesn't mean that. You even had the Nazarite law where you're not supposed to drink wine. And if you drank wine, you broke your vow. But you weren't going off for drinking wine. And these people don't understand this stuff because they're not learned. They just go by what the world see. I don't even want to click back on that and show that. I want to start in Proverbs chapter 31. I'm gonna start 3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. So really, wine is meant to soothe you. It's meant to make you feel good because this world is full of crap. And you seen what I just showed. I don't want to show that again because it'll turn my stomach, man. It puts you in a heavy heart. You want to alleviate that. You might have a woman and she's going the hell off, and you don't even want to deal with her. So you just might sip a little wine and just forget about it. You know what I mean? Because in this world, you really can't discipline people for going off. If people are acting inconsiderate or selfish, you really can't chastise them, for being that way. And you might be in a spirit of somebody who's a judge. So you're really supposed to be judging these people, and these people kind of know it in their spirits. Again, I want to refer back to the brother's page name is Non-Stop on the Block now. He used to be Enduring Branch, and he was talking about how people approach him, and they basically counsel onto him because in their spirit they feel like he's a judge. And this is why a lot of the times, and I'm not saying I'm a judge, but I'm saying a lot of the times when you have a certain spirit on you, people feel condemned by being around you because it's like you're a reminder that they're off and they're wrong. For example, I had this dude talking to me about committing adultery, and I said I was just wrong, and from then he's just been in a bad vibe with me. But you're why would you want to have sex with another man's woman? And the dude actually told me, if I wouldn't have sex with somebody's woman who I know. So you're basically saying you're a thief. It's okay to steal from strangers, but not from people you know. It's okay for me to hit my children. Sorry, it's not okay for me to hit my children. That's not okay, but I can hit strangers' children. You know what I mean? But these people are the contradiction, man. This is Proverbs 21. Wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. So if you drink something and you act upon those feelings or those emotions when you're drunk, you're not wise. But you have to have the discernment to understand that. But these people will read this stuff and see it as a contradiction. This is Matthew 11:19. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, behold, a man gluttonous and a winebibber, a friend of publicans and sinners, but wisdom is justified of her children. And again, people look at this and be like, you're not supposed to drink wine, but Yahushua was drinking wine. He was gluttonous. He was eating all the time. He was eating this on the pot. He was doing this and that. And it's like, the scriptures are there for you to kind of pull over, and then the more you read them, the more you realize it's not a contradiction. It's just there's levels to it. Let me get that scripture real quick. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3. For to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sue, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. What profit have he that worketh in that wherein he laboureth? So there's a time for everything. So it's not a contradiction. If it's time to war, you're not supposed to be drinking. But if you're at a party, you're having a celebration, it's a time to drink. That's not a contradiction. There's a time for everything. And these people, because these people have no order, to them there's a time to do everything at all times. So they see it as a contradiction. It's a contradiction to be getting drunk and going to war. Of course it is. But you don't understand when you're supposed to do something and when you're not supposed to do something, because bro, seriously, I can't deal with these people, man. This is Ecclesiastes 10:19. A feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. So you see, a feast is made for festivities. There's a time for that, and wine maketh merry. So if you have a heavy heart, wine can make you feel better about the situation that you're in. There's a time for that. It don't mean that if you're not see wine is really for certain things. It's not you're supposed to drink every day. And you're supposed to fast some days. If you fast, you're not going to be drinking wine, are you? 1 Timothy 5:23. Drink no longer water, but use a little wine for thy stomach's sakes and thine often infirmities. And this can come with emotional infirmities, because you might feel down on the weather, and you have a little wine and it lifts up your spirits. It doesn't mean you go crazy for it. Like me personally, mm, I I would say I drink wine often. I don't drink wine every day, but I try to have a situation where I only drink wines in the evening. It's not like I'll sit there and I'll drink wine at 12 o'clock in the morning or first thing when I get up. And some brothers will do that. I can't really make a judgment on that. Just me personally, I drink wine and I won't drink a full, but sometimes I'll just have like a little glass or something. It's not going off to do that. But if I'm going around, I'm being drunk, and I'm acting out of order. That's too much. Cause I drink wine and I've got I'm still fine. I can still function. I saw my neighbor, the dude was blind drunk. I had to help him in his home. I've never been that drunk. From certain time I was drunk and I did something. I ain't never getting that drunk again, man. I just have like a little. There's I can't even describe a word for it. There's a certain limit where you feel merry. You know what I mean? But I ain't getting blind twisted drunk, man. And not to say I've not done. I get drunk, but not like that. Not to the point where I can't put my own key in the door. This is 1 Timothy 3:3. Not given to wine, no striker, not greedy of filthy lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous. So it said not given to wine, so you can drink wine, but you're not supposed to be given over to it. You're not supposed to be a drunkard. You're not supposed to be in a situation where you can't go a day without drinking. And I've been in the world, and I was a weed addict. I couldn't go a day without weed, and I prayed to the Lord and He took that spirit off me. There's certain bad habits I have now, and I pray and I fast on it, and I hope the Lord take them away, But I'm a work in progress, you know what I mean? I'm a working canvas, like everybody else. It's just the only difference I like to believe is I'm aware of my flaws. I know what they are, and I hope the Lord take them away from me, But some people don't see a problem with the way that they behave. Even when I was smoking weed, I'd be like, oh, I need to stop smoking, and I'd be talking to dudes, and I'd be like, I don't see myself as having a problem with weed, and I'm looking at you like, you can't go a day without weed. You have a problem. If you can't go a day without something, you have a problem. Especially when it's like, even food. You need food and water. If you can't go a day without food and water, you have a problem. You don't have any discipline. This is Proverbs 21:17. He that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich. And what's pleasurable? Sex is pleasurable. Even sleep is pleasurable. So if you love sleeping all the time, you're going to be poor. You love sex all the time, you're going to be poor. You love wine all the time, you're going to be poor. So this is why it talks about a time for everything, because you're supposed to meet out and measure out when you're doing something. You're supposed to be disciplined and have the discernment to be able to see when you're supposed to be doing something and when you're not. This is why these people say the Bible's contradictions. It's just you don't have any discernment and you don't have any discipline to understand, when you're supposed to do something and when you're not, because you don't understand the scriptures. The spirit ain't really working with you. Not to say I have the spirit on me or I'm this or I'm that. I'm just saying, these people don't even have the spirit to receive wisdom when they hear it. I can listen to I may not know something. I can listen to the elders, and I can see that it makes sense. You put these elders in front of these people, and they'll be mocking at the elders, and being just complete disrespectful. These times, these people are older than you. Even people in the world, I may not agree with certain people who are older than me, but I give them a certain respect because they're older than me. These people don't even understand that level of respect, you know. That's what I'm saying. There's a time for this place to burn, man. This is Hosea 4:11. Whoredom and wine and new wine taketh away the heart. Well, there's not really much meat on that one. I'm not really gonna go into this one. It's Numbers 6:3. He shall separate himself from wine and strong drink, and shall drink no vinegar of wine or vinegar of strong drink. Neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes, nor eat moist grapes or dried. And this is the law. This going into the law of the Nazareth. And when you leave wine long enough, it turns into vinegar. And I just wanted to. I'm gonna make my final point here, talking about contradictions. If I could just get this. No, I'm gonna just jump to this. Let's talk about Proverbs 13:22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. So it's not wrong to leave an inheritance to your children's children. That's not wrong. But in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, it says, where is it? I'm gonna start at 15. Then I said in my heart, as it happeneth to the fool, so it happeneth even to me. And why was I then more wise? Then I said in my heart, that is also is vanity, for there is no remembrance of the wise more than of the fool forever, seeing that which is now is in the days to come shall all be forgotten. And how dieth the wise man as the fool? Therefore I hated life, because the work that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me, for all is vanity and vexation of spirit. Yea, I hated all my labour which I had taken under the sun, because I should leave it unto a man that shall be after me. See, it says you're supposed to leave an inheritance for your children's children. But here it says, I hated my labour because I would leave it unto a man after me. And who knoweth whether he shall be a wise man or a fool? Yet shall he have rule over all my labour wherein I have laboured, and wherein I have showed myself wise under the sun. That is also vanity. So it seems like right is a wrong thing to leave an inheritance, but really and truly, it says, you know, it's a good thing to leave an inheritance for your children's children, but you have to have that discernment to understand, you know, it's vexation. You know, there's a time and a place for everything, and to understand the scriptures. And these people just don't get it, man. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to the elders and apostles of Jewish. Well, shalom to the elect.